Okay, well, of course, not especially as mayor. My favorite memory, of course, before I go on from that, I would like to mention I was the second in my family to serve as mayor of Apex. My grandfather was mayor in the 1940s, so that was a memory, that I'll never forget, was the opportunity to serve as mayor, after he had been. Uh, another memory, of course, has to do with my business. I came into the business right out of college, and my grandfather established the business, and we'll be 100 years old in 24. In 2 years, our company will be 100 years old. And just the opportunity to come into the business, to be the third generation. My daughter followed me after she graduated from college, and now my grandson just graduated from college, and he's come into the business. So we got 5 generations in the business, and that's a favorite thing for me, just to see how our business is doing, and our business continues to grow. And we just, I can't take credit for it. They're the ones that are carrying it on now. As people know, I go a long ways back in Apex. I was born here in 1945 in Apex, and I guess a big memory was the centennial in 1973. I had the opportunity to serve on the centennial committee back then. I was a young I was about 28 years old at the time. I was a young 28-year-old town councilman in Apex. That was before I became mayor, but I was on the town council. And just having the opportunity to serve on the centennial at that time, and there's been a lot of people that are not here now that were part of that, but that was a big thing for Apex at that time, and most of us grew beards at the time. Best thing for me was when I was able to get it shaved off. but I thought serving on Centennial and being a part of that was a biggie. One of the memories is when we established the property for the library, where the library is now. The lady that it's named for passed away, and she left in her will $3 million for a library to be established in Apex. Well, we had the $3 million, we weren't sure where we could put it or what we could do. So Miss Perry had left us specifically for that. So Wake County came to us. They saw that we had the money. Wake County came to us and said that if you'll let us build, if you'll give us that $3 million and put the library on the north section of Apex, said we'll be willing to build you a nice regional library. And so we did. We partnered with Wake County and bought the property out there, Shepherd's Vineyard, where it is now, and built the library. A lot of people in Apex, a lot of the elderly people in Apex at the time didn't like it. They felt like we were putting the library out of the town, and so they didn't like it. But and I was told several times it would never be used. But I think we proved that we made a pretty good decision, and we couldn't have built that nice library with $3 million, So I think the decision turned out to be a right decision, even if people didn't like it at the time. There are other times that, as mayor, we bought the property out on Lord Duncan Road where the first major park, Apex Park, was put, Apex Community Park. That was done after when I was mayor, but we did buy the property at the time, and those 30 some acres we bought right around the pond where we used to get our water supply. And so I think there's some things that people might not have thought were great at the time that we turned out to be right. And another one was, of course, getting water from Jordan Lake for the town, and I signed a contract with Town of Cary and getting the water from Jordan Lake. So there's just some of the things that I thought we did that people didn't like at the time, possibly, but turned out that I thought would be right. That's what makes Apex home. That's kind of a tough question because Apex has always been home to me. I think, a lot of people were opposed to growth, and everything, and the number of people moving into the town. But I've not been that way. You know, I, th- we're not a country club community. We are not a closed community. We're glad. I'm glad to see the people moving in. I've gained a lot of friends that way. I can remember when I'd walk down the streets of Apex, know everybody I met, and now I don't even know everybody in my own church. So I really think the people moving in and how they've become a part of the community and through the churches, through the civic clubs and things like that. I've belonged to the Lions Club for 50 some years, and we have a lot of new members in that. And I think that's what has made Apex great. It's just the number of people that have become part of the community. My hopes for the future, I just think, as we continue to grow, just being able to control the growth and how I've always been one even when I was mayor, I felt like that, we need to balance it out between non-residential and residential. But but I know Apex is going to continue to grow, and we're going to continue to expand the town limits. I think our infrastructure is in place for us to grow, and I just think controlling the growth and and doing that. And I've heard a lot about affordable housing. I was with the mayor recently, and he was telling me about the cheapest house in Apex right now, and I know the average person working cannot afford that. So I think that's a big thing too, is having affordable housing.